So, I'm back. No need for an explanation. Let's just move on. Let's just talk about Transformers. Specifically, let's talk about Kingdom, because, it's pretty good. Like, really good. So good, in fact, that I even picked up the core class figures, because, you know, Hasbro likes G1. Now, to be honest, like most people, I was probably going to skip out on these guys because, you know, we have better versions of them that are bigger, more to scale, more accurate, you know. So the question still remains, how did I end up getting these four? Well, Soundwave. It all started with Soundwave. Oh, God, this guy's good. Now, when this guy was revealed, he was the only one that I really wanted because, well, he's a mini Soundwave. He's adorable. But the main reason I kind of got him was just because I wanted to put him in the cassette mode and have him be held by a Megatron or another large figure and just have them hold a little tiny cassette player. So one day when I was So one day when I was just shopping through Target and I found this guy, yeah, I picked him up. And I also managed to pick up Core Class Dracodon. You know, the green bone dinosaur thing that I'm not talking about today because, And if you couldn't tell by my reaction to that, this guy took the fucking cake. I mean, look at him. The proportions, the paint, the detail, the molding. Oh, it's perfect. And not to mention, he has a mini laser beak. I just know this guy is going to be a pretty penny in the future. That's mainly because in a lot of ways, he's kind of better than the Netflix version of Soundwave. Like, he has less kibble, he's easier to transform, and like I said earlier, he's adorable. And speaking of that transformation, ooh, it's good. That transformation is very reminiscent of G1, and I would know because that's the only G1 figure that is owned in my family is G1 Soundwave. I mean, I got some reissues over there, but they're not the same. But honestly, this guy is just so fun to transform. Like, if I have any figures that I'm just in the mood to transform, it's probably this guy. He's just so small, so easy, and I love it. And this tiny cassette mode, oh my gosh, it's just so cute. Look at it, it's so cute. Anyways, enough gushing over the cassette mode. Let's move on to Starscream. Now, Starscream here isn't too far off of Soundwave's excellence. Core Class Starscream definitely gives me some classic vibes, considering that he's got, you know, these little tail fins right here at the bottom of the feet. Now, there's not too much that I can think of to say about this robot mode other than it's good. I mean, the colors are there, it's accurate, proportions are good, there's not really any kibble other than, you know, the feet and the nose cone in the back. But that's all we kind of expect for the Starscream figure now, isn't it? But the transformation for this guy, yeah, it's different. It's very different. His chest splits apart, which then allows the wing backpack to completely rotate around the chest and collapse again. Whoo! Everything just folds into itself so nicely to make this cute little jet mode. His jet mode does look pretty good though with its blue fins and its red accents. It isn't really perfect though, as it does have a case of visible head, hand, and feet syndrome. Not to mention the chest tab also doesn't tab in together all the way. But I mean, it doesn't ruin the figure, so. Next up is Optimus, who is only, he's alright. I mean, he's not bad by any means, but it's another one. It's another small Optimus. And if we're being honest, I don't know what to say other than that. I mean, he looks like Optimus, he poses like Optimus. Like, it's Optimus, it's just small. If I would have to complain about something, it's probably the back kibble. I mean, it just kind of protrudes out there, and it's not really elegant looking. Now, I know that at this size class, it's pretty hard to make a figure, but compared to Starscream and Soundwave, who had perfect backs, how did this happen? Anyways, moving on to the truck mode. It's a tiny red and blue truck with feet. Finally, we move on to Megatron, who is probably my least favorite. And it's mainly just because of that backpack. I mean, it's his entire back. It's all just tread. And he also has these really big shoulders, which seems like they're just a little too big. And he's also not a very nice, elegant shade of gray. It's a very dark, gunmetal type of gray. In fact, I would say that he's so gray, he's almost black. And the main problem isn't the fact that it's black colors on him, because Megatron does usually have black, but just not this much. It's kind of everywhere. The chest, however, is pretty nice, especially with all that painted detail and the red and blues and yellows, and that's the Megatron chest right there. And the chest does at least do a good job of breaking up the darkness that is Megatron in this figure, and you know what? That might actually be why he's so dark, because he has no soul to him. Now, transformation into tank mode is surprisingly complex. The legs fold out and around to make the whole side of the tank, and it uses the waist swivel. The tank itself is only okay though. It's the same dark gray and black that the robot mode was, but now it's just all of it. The only silver is the tread, and that's about it. And that's kind of disappointing. And another mild complaint is that the cannon doesn't stick out as far as it should, but it can swivel! So that's it. That's my opinion on the Transformers Kingdom Core Class G1 characters. Soundwave is a definite must-have. Starscream is pretty good, and he offers a unique transformation that's different from all the other versions that we've gotten of him so far, you know, all like 50 of them. Optimus and Megatron, while good, they have their fair share of flaws. They're not horrible, but they're not great. They're at least not as great as these two. But with that said, I'll be signing off, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. And I'm not going away for months, but hey, you know, we'll see what happens.